Hello and welcome back, friends. Reverske here. Today we are going to talk about something different than playing the campaigns. As well as you can know, this weekend BlizzCon is happening, and we've got a few news regarding the Warcraft Reforged. First of all, there have been uploaded a bunch of high-resolution images on the BlizzCon webpage. I'll put a link down in the description so you can see. They updated the Warcraft Reforged site with a few images that may be interesting for our viewing. Starting with buildings, they have uploaded some high-resolution images of the some of the Night Elf and undead buildings. So this is an Ancient of War. Just look at this building. It's amazingly done, so much detail. But one thing that I'm very concerned about is that this detail does look too sharp in the game. As you might have seen in the gameplay, the game looks a bit over sharpened, like the lines aren't smooth at all. So I'm afraid that this may affect the game. So hopefully this is not the final build and the game will look a lot smoother, but at the moment this is kind of a problem, I guess. But just look at these buildings. The eyes are amazing, the colors are amazing, the husks and the stone parts are just beautiful. Here we have a Tree of Life, and this Tree of Life looks like he's holding a wisp. I'm not sure about it, but just look at the detail. I like a lot how the leaves work out on this building. They're just beautiful, and the eyes are just it's like magical. If we have something like this in the game, it's just amazing. And one more model that has been uploaded is the model of the Ziggurat. What I've gotta say is that it's the same Ziggurat as we know it, because when you look at the Ancient of War and the Tree of Life, you kind of suppose that this is the Ancient of War and this is the Tree of Life, but you don't know for sure. But when you look at this building, you know 100% this is a Ziggurat, because it looks exactly like the basic Ziggurat from the Warcraft 3, but just look at the details. Look at this crystal and the purple light that it's coming from it, and this purple area aura that's around the crystal of the Ziggurat is just amazing. If we used to have just like an oval shaped crystal in the Warcraft 3, now we have a gem inside this tower, so it looks just amazing. And look at the skulls, look at the base and the steps on the Ziggurat, like, because the Ziggurat is based on the buildings that the ancient Aztec used to build as their temples. They used to have steps that you would walk on and just go and perform like some spiritual how do you call it, the spiritual rituals. In here everything is just perfect. It looks amazing. I just like this model. So far I am very happy about the models. Right, next we're gonna talk about heroes. And some of the models in here you might know, because earlier this year when the Blizzard started leaking, there are some new models of the heroes that haven't been seen yet. So this is Antonidas. It's basically an Archmage, and I would like that the Archmage in game would look like this, because it looks way better. I mean the face, because right now a lot of people are complaining the Archmage is looking like a dwarf model. It doesn't look like a human, and as you can see even in this image he looks like kinda short, maybe because he's seated, but still some of the people don't really like him. And of course this model has a lot of detail and it's beautiful, and the scepter, the horse, everything just looks amazing. Next one we have, it's Anubarak. This is the Crypt Lord. If I'm not mistaken, is Crypt Lord, yes. And this model has insane detail. I mean, the Creep Lord was kind of a good model even in Warcraft 3. He looked very good besides his companion heroes, but in here is just a step up from the Warcraft 3. Amazing details. We do not forget that he is part of Ajol Nerub, kind of spidery creature. So he has a lot of web on his what do you call him? His hands, I guess. But look at the details, the skin, the flesh, and this chitinous carapace he has a glow to it that is amazing. It's beautiful. It just brings the hero to another level, and you can see these small kind of wisps around him. I suppose this is his ultimate, and perhaps now the ultimate won't look as grim as it used to look, because his ultimate, and he is bringing a swarm of insects that are biting the enemies and come back and give him a portion of their health. So he is damaging the enemy and healing himself with this, but the model looks great. Next we have one of the most popular character, and perhaps one of the most loved characters in the Warcraft universe, I guess. Yeah, Arthas became a Death Knight, and he was an evil character, but perhaps he is one of the most loved villains in the whole game. And now look at this model. If this is going to look like so into the game, this is amazing. Now the horse is totally different. The Warcraft 3 horse is kinda meh. People don't really like the horse, but this is superb. This is his champion horse, the Invincible. Look at the details on the horse. And now the horse doesn't look like a just random dead horse. He has skin, he has flesh, and only perhaps his head is more like a schoolish type, but the armor, just looks amazing. I have no words to describe this. This is so beautiful. I hope this looks like so into the game, and the Arthas is just beautiful. I'm just speechless, you know. I love the model. Here we have the model of the Tinker. That's an how we call it, a neutral hero that you can get from the tavern. Let's say I'm not a fan of this hero. Yes, this hero has his working strategies, and he is a viable options for some races out there, and he brings a lot of mechanics to the table. He brings a lot of executions, but to be honest, I don't really like the model. But that's my sole opinion, because the details of the heroes are dope. Just look at this mechanical backpack. It's amazing. Look at the colors, look at the details. It's just very well done. But I don't like the hero, that's all. Don't hate me for this though. If you are looking at top charts, who likes Illidan, who likes Arthas, they perhaps are 50-50, because everyone loves these characters. And there is a sudden redesign of the character. Perhaps maybe this model will be for Illidan, and the demon hunters in the game will have another model. But so far, what can I say? Goodbye Panda Warglaves, and welcome Warglaves of Azinoth, I guess. The details, just very well done. The tattoos, the hair, and this greenish evil glow is just perfect for the character of Illidan. Next up, Kel'Thuzad. Perhaps leeches will have certain different models, and Kel'Thuzad will have his own model, because this is a trend right now. As we saw from the leaks, every paladin has a different model. Perhaps this is going to be with every hero, but looking at this leech, it looks way better than Warcraft 3. Way more details, The chains are looking beautiful, the skull, the bones, and this evil glow, like he has a galaxy inside his hand. That's super good. And he has some kind of a pharaoh Egyptian theme going on. Liches always had this because he has this beard like like the burial of the sarcophagus of an pharaoh. So that's insanely detailed model. Now this model you might have saw in the previous leaks. This is Tyrande. What can I say? I really like the new model. It's similar to the Heroes of the Storm, way different than the Warcraft 3, has more details, but overall it's super good. I like the tiger a lot actually, and Tyrande, it's super beautiful. Can't say nothing more about it, about her. The bow is actually also pretty much detailed with this feather wing theme going on. So we got a gargoyle, a fiend, and an abomination. These look beautiful. Let's focus on the gargoyle for a bit, because abomination and fiend, even in Warcraft 3, had a lot of details. Abominations were clearly made out, so they look like stitched from different parts of different bodies. Abomination and got a lot of love. The fiends were clearly spiders, but gargoyles, yeah, they were looking like flying units, but were having a very thin body and arms, and would look very weird while flying. But this new gargoyle, it's on a different level. It's so beautiful actually. I mean, it's scary in the same time, but the details are amazing. We have a few screens that have been uploaded, and we have here an undead base. We're gonna talk about the buildings a bit. So here we have a haunted mine. It looks way different than the original, whereas the original had like these legs that go down on the mine and somehow engulf it. Now it has these ethereal chains, but these chains look like they are chaining the acolytes. So it's a bit of a redesign. Now we have saw in previous images the ziggurats, and they look amazing. The slaughterhouse looks more detailed, but it's like the same principle. I mean, it didn't change much, so you would recognize it very fast. Obviously, the graveyard and the tombstones around it, so it's clear what building is. The altar, it's a bit different, but still recognizable. This is the crypt. The crypt is a bit changed. It has this kind of dome around it. Heard some people that don't really like it, some like it, so it's a thing of taste. I personally like it. It looks like a real crypt, like in real life crypts, if you saw some. Alright, this is a necropolis that has been upgraded to Halls of the Dead. And this looks like a boneyard, but I'm not sure about it. It has a skull of a dragon in here. Maybe we should view it from a different angle, and it will be clear what building it is. But so far looks very, very good. A few units in here. Ghouls. Ghouls don't get a lot of love. Unlike abominations, ghouls don't get a lot of love. And here we have a Torrent Chieftain fighting a Crypt Lord. It looks amazing actually. The Crypt Lord in game looks very good. Next we have this image of an undead attacking an elf base. So we have a lich, and seems like the model for the lich will be different than the model for Kel'Thuzad. So starting from the bottom here, we have a few meat wagons, lich. This looks like a banshee, a ghoul, and few abomination. This looks like a frostworm. Perhaps this is the attack of the frostworm. I'm not sure about it. We have some druids of the claw in their bear form, and looks like these might be attacked by the frostworm because they have an effect on them, like they are frozen because this sudden change in color, as this is the normal color and this is the attacked, or maybe they are poisoned by the cloud that are creating the abomination. They have a poison cloud or something like this. I don't remember the exact naming. In here we have a demon hunter, and they said that it will have a female version, and it looks like this is a female demon hunter. And this one looks like a mountain giant, but not sure if he's dead or not. Alright, so with the buildings, from the right corner, maybe it's a hall of the hunters. This is an altar, looks like it. We have a tree of life, maybe tree of eternity, cannot say for sure. This is the ancient of wonders. This is a chimera roost. These two are moon wheels. Well, obviously, I'm not sure what this is. This is an ancient of wind, and this, it's either a protector, looks like a protector to me. Perhaps it's a protector because it has like a rock in his hand, and he has this animation that is throwing stuff away. And this is an archer, I guess. One more image in here. We're having a night elf attacking a human base. So we can clearly see the archers, the huntresses. This is the priestess of the moon, and the priestess of the moon looks different. It does not look like Tyrande from my angle in here. It does not look like Tyrande. Here's some druid of the claw, also in bear form. They look so big, actually. The druids of the claw used to be big, but not so overwhelmingly big compared to, let's say, militia in here. And we have a ballista and a few mountain giants. The human looks the same, I guess. And lastly, what I want to talk about, it's a bonus. Everyone, when was thinking about Warcraft, thinks about a lot of custom games. Everyone has a type of custom games, be it either a MOBA or a tower defense or some kind of extra races map, or some custom campaign, some custom scenario games. Everyone has one, and everyone played one if you are born like in 90s maybe, and you have been playing Warcraft since you are a child. So Blizzard did update the sites, his Warcraft 3 site, and they posted this stuff in here. Limitless custom games. Discover millions of player-created games, including tower defenses, MOBAs, ARPGs, survival games, and more, or build your own with the upgraded world editor, and posted a few screenshots that will make a lot of people very happy. First of all, we have a screenshot that doesn't look like a particular map. Maybe if you know this map, you can write it in the comments down below. To me, it doesn't look that familiar because I don't really like tower defenses, and the most tower defenses that I did play is Element TD. If this is Element TD, then I'm screwed. And Winter Maul. Those were like the most popular tower defenses in my age. But this looks like a tower defense, definitely. So tower defense fans, you are good and well. I know that you will be able to play some tower defenses. Next one looks like a custom races map, because in here, as you can see, we have Naga against Night Elves. So custom races maps, yes, we'll be able to play it. this screen is like for the thousands of hundreds of people who still play Dota 1. And this shows up Alchemist marching down, looks like middle lane, and against Crystal Maiden. Well, this is a horrible lineup if you ask me, but this is Dota. This is Dota Reforged, and a lot of people will be very glad to see this. First, in the beginning, I thought that this is Necro. Perhaps this is how Necro will be looking, but a bit bigger in the model. But who knows? And these are Ghouls and Treants and Druid of Talon and a Defender. So definitely, perhaps at the release state of the final release state of the game, you will be able to play Dota. So Dota Reforged, thousands of people who are still playing Dota in Warcraft 3 perhaps will be glad about this. This map, I have no idea. Don't hate me, but I have no idea about this map. Never played it. Don't know it. Perhaps you know it. You should be writing something about in commentaries. How bad am I not knowing this map? This map is one of the classic maps, Footman Wars. Lots of people play it, lots of people like it. I did play it, I enjoy it. It's a beautiful map. And the last one, many of you must know this map, Pudge Wars. Not gonna say much about it, because who knows it, and did play it. So amazing map, very simple concept, but very fun. Hope you guys like the video, and I'm just waiting to play all of these high quality custom games and campaign, and waiting just overall for the final release of Reforged. Hope I see you soon in the games.